Alright, welcome to Garagecast. I'm Tony, this is Jason.
Could you see the little tiny camera on the phone?
No, I couldn't. So,
It's pretty tiny though.
welcome back.
Hey.
Been a while since we got a chance to do this. We've both been busy with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So, but we're here, and I say we start off like we did last time. Play a little bit of that game.
Yeah.
That One Must Go. I thought we had a good time with it.
Yeah.
One Must Go. Kittens, ponies, chicks, puppies. I'm gonna say ponies because I've never had a pony. So,
Yeah.
But I love horses. I would love to own a horse. I would love to have a pony. To me, they're like the most majestic animals I've ever seen. They're beautiful. I care about a lot of animals. I actually care more about animals than I do anybody else.
Yeah.
Other than my wife and daughter, of course. Gotta stick that in there.
Yeah.
But kittens, I've had kittens. They're cute as hell.
Yeah, they're cute.
Puppies are cute as hell.
I don't know.
And I figured you would say chicks because you got.
Get rid of them though?
No.
Oh, keep.
Keep because you had
Well, if I had to get rid of one, I'd probably say ponies, but because actually I haven't had a kitten before, but they are cute. I will say, we just got a puppy a few months ago, and as cute as they are, they're a pain in the ass.
Puppies?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you gotta train them.
Yeah, well, you can't even really train them a lot until they're old enough to train. They're pretty much, they're not a lot you can do. I mean, you can do some positive reinforcement training, but you can't do corrective training for a little while until they're old enough. But they are a pain. I mean, certain breeds are better than others. Like, I haven't had one, but was around a puppy that was really chill. Actually, two, because when I was on vacation, I had 2 weeks with a golden retriever puppy. That thing was the chillest puppy I've ever seen. I mean, you just carry it around, set it down, and lay down. So, but then the one I had was the one I've got now is 4 or 5 months old now. Is still a demon child.
It's gonna be a demon child until it's like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
My little girl is actually gonna be turning 4 next month.
Your dog? I thought it was older.
No, we got her just under a year old about 3 years ago.
Huh.
So she'll be turning 4 this September, I believe.
Yeah.
I gotta check the date and remember when it is. But she's still rotten.
Yeah. Ponies aren't like baby. They're not.
I know.
Young horses. They're just small
ponies.
horses.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why I said
funny.
I would love to own a horse or a pony because I separated the two because I know that
it was just weird that they put pony instead of like foal or whatever, like young horse.
I think probably because a lot of people would own a pony as a pet.
Yes.
More than they would a horse.
Right, but a pony's going to stay a pony.
Right.
Right. So you better like them. Like,
you
could get a puppy knowing that it's going to be a dog eventually and not really like puppies. That's kind of my case.
And they're going to get old and eventually die.
Now, cats, on the other hand, I've had opportunities to get kittens, and I'm like, no, I don't know. Unless they're outside only, like, barn cats. So, but then I'd feel bad for them leaving them outside, so.
Yeah.
And chicks and ducklings are my favorite. If I had to get rid of all but one, they would be the one I kept. Because ducklings are cute as heck.
Alright, this is the last one. Chess, checkers, backgammon, dominoes.
Ooh, okay. Now you finally got me on one that I really have to deliberate on. I really like. Was it? So you said backgammon. What was the third one?
Chess, checkers, backgammon, dominoes.
Oh, backgammon, dominoes. I really like backgammon and dominoes. Grew up playing those a lot, especially backgammon. We had a really nice backgammon board that was like folds up into like a briefcase.
Right. Yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah, that's the one with the.
The triangles, like the
and
like
you gotta
stripes.
Move.
Yeah.
Okay.
I honestly probably could. I'd have to like read the rules again, but I grew up playing it and I loved the game. And it's a Midwestern game. So.
I played it every now and then, not a lot. I can remember, like you said, we had one that folded up into a briefcase. Little,
Yeah. And then the little, like, almost like marbles, but they're like flat on both sides. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chips.
Now, I play chess all the time. I don't understand it. I suck at it. I lose at it. I forget what I'm allowed to do with each piece.
Right.
So I don't really play it that often.
Yeah.
I don't really know the rules either. But.
Chess is one of those games where you either are learning how to play and like getting actively better at playing it.
Yeah.
Or you know how to play and don't really like playing too often, which I feel like that's me. I want to, like, I feel like chess, like my boss at work and a couple other guys like playing chess. It's because they're very intellectual and like, playing stuff like that. It's a mind game. Really.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, when you get into it, once you learn the rules and learn basic moves and patterns and stuff, it's a mind game trying to figure out your opponent. That's all chess is. It's basically the game was invented by, I believe, a French war general. I believe I might be completely making this up, bullshitting, but I believe it was like somebody who it was a like war simulation game.
Okay.
Kind of as a
strategy.
Yeah, to learn and to teach strategy. Yeah. How to anticipate. Anticipate
all that
moves
kind of
and
stuff. Right.
Yeah.
It's something I definitely know I would like to learn how to play.
Yeah.
Whether I would like it or not after I do it, because it's a very long game. It's not something that takes 10 minutes and you're done. It's
definitely takes a bit of time.
Game. Yeah.
You can always play online too, because then you can just one person moves and then it's just like you wait and then move, and you don't have to like sit and wait for the game to be done.
Right.
So you can play it online with people. There's an app. I think it's called Chess Pro or chess.com or something like that.
I have to look into that. Maybe I'll.
I think it's a pay. I think the one I'm thinking of. I think it's paid, but you play with anybody. You can play with real people. You can play with anybody in the world. You can play against a computer. And when you play against a computer, it tells you when you made mistakes and how you can get better too. So you actually learn how to playing against a computer versus like if you play on some of like the free apps. Like it's. The computer may or may not actually act more like a human. It might just win every time if it can.
Right.
So, but there's ways to program it. You can have it set to like it always chooses the best move, or it does make mistakes like humans do. Mm-hmm. So, because I mean, if you're playing against a human may not. I mean, they're not always. You're never going to know. You're not a computer and can plan 50 moves ahead.
Right.
Yeah. I guess the grandmasters might be able to play 50 heads ahead.
That speaking of computers playing against humans and stuff like that, that's where the AI starts coming in.
Yeah.
And we talked about this last time, I think.
Yeah.
With the AI taking over and all that kind of stuff. But backgammon and chess are the two that I'm throwing up about, because I used to play dominoes all the time. I used to play checkers all the time. They were like two of the biggest things I've done. I used to have my own domino set.
Yeah. No, we always played dominoes. Mexican train is what we always
So did. I'm going to say probably backgammon, just for the simple reason that I don't really have interest in backgammon. I'd rather learn chess and learn how to play chess and probably be doing that. So I'm going to say backgammon's going.
I'd say checkers.
Because it's too easy, or?
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. But I'd rather, if I had to keep, I definitely would keep dominoes and backgammon. Right. But between chess and checkers, they're kind of like, if I had to pick between those two, I'd definitely say like I'd rather keep chess because it's more entertaining.
Right.
Than checkers. I mean, checkers gets boring after a while.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Well, that's about it for these. Not really much on there anymore. I have to research and get some new ones or whatever. Yeah. But maybe we'll find something else we could play. All right. So. It's topic time. What do you want to talk about? That's what I want to talk to you about.
Uh-oh.
I heard on the radio the other day.
Still listening to the radio, huh?
Yes, still listening to the radio. About this new game that just came out. And it blew my mind what they were talking about. And you want to talk about how technology and stuff has changed from when we were playing games to when you were playing games to what their kids are playing now?
Yeah.
I don't remember what the name of this game was. They were talking about it on the radio, but you can build your avatar.
Uh-huh.
to the point where you pick out their clothes.
Yeah.
You pick out their face.
Uh-huh.
You pick out their penis size. You pick out whether they're circumcised or not circumcised. You pick out whether they have bush, how much bush, less bush. You have sex with other
there's a lot of. I hate to break it to you, Tony. There's a lot of games out there that are like that. There's a whole.
That you can actually do
Yeah.
all of that.
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand the sex part.
Yeah.
But I mean to actually.
Oh yeah.
To
I want to say,
and
I want to say that's actually the game they're quoting is actually a very popular game.
Yeah.
Called Cyberpunk 2077.
No, I think this started with a G, I believe.
Well, I know Cyberpunk. I remember when Cyberpunk came out, there was a option for genital size, which was really kind of bizarre because it was such a. Because in the gaming industry, just like in the television and in industry, there's mainstream stuff, which is for the most part PG, PG-13.
Right.
I mean, although rated R games
yeah,
are. But then
video game,
if it has adult content in it, it's beyond the R rating. It's adults only. It's like the unrated stuff in the television world. But the unrated, the AO games are like they're because it's funny. There's a huge the biggest video game platform which is for computers is called Steam.
Mm-hmm.
It's where you play all your games that you have on computer versus Xbox, PlayStation, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And a lot of games you play on your consoles, you can play on your computer because they're on computer as well. And so Steam, like about 2-3 years ago, basically they went through this whole thing where, we're not going to allow any adult content. We don't want any games with adult content. And there was such a backlash.
Mm-hmm.
There was such an outcry. They were like, no, you can't take that away from us. Because you can't do that on consoles. Like, they don't sell PlayStation 5 games with adult content. I mean, the highest rating you can get a PlayStation game is R.
Okay.
Or M. Sorry, M for
mature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as R. You have to be 17 to buy it.
Right.
Which is ironic because your Call of Duty games are rated M, but 13,
because
12,
you're doing a lot
10,
of killing in there. That's why.
It's usually rated M for violence, language, and suggestive themes. It's usually like your 3 like.
Well, the thing that surprised me the most is because the games I not grew up on. I mean, I started out with like Tetris and the ping pong. I guess it was Pong, whatever it
Pong
was.
on the Atari,
Tetris and stuff like that. But in the early 2000s, we came into like Halo, Call of Duty.
Yeah.
So I wasn't a big gamer. I did play them every now and then, not contently like a lot of other people, a lot of friends. I was not a huge gamer.
Right.
But those are the games that I'm used to. So for me to hear that you can do this kind of stuff in these games nowadays.
Yeah, that's mainstream, not just some weird little niche thing.
Yeah.
No, it is.
You can pick the size, circumcised, uncircumcised bush. You can have and to me, it's like, no wonder these kids were fucking fucked up.
I don't think that's what's fucking them up, but.
Well, it's part of it. I mean, maybe that's why they feel entitled or whatever. I don't know. But, I mean, no wonder a lot of them sit around and play video games all the time.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, the biggest...
That's their social interaction now. Oh. They're not really face-to-face anymore. They wear the headsets and they talk to each other over the video games.
Well, yeah, that's definitely could be a problem. It's funny, though, because you have video games and you have a whole huge group of people who are completely 100% against them because of whatever reason, usually religious or whatever.
Right, yeah.
And it's a pretty large group of people that believe all video games are bad, and that's not true. I don't think.
No,
you can't make a blanket statement about anything like that. I mean, it's just they're like anything. There's good and bad in it, and I will say video games for the most part are a waste of time. I mean, it is a way to pass the time. It's a pastime.
Entertainment.
It's like anything, though. It's like sports. Sports are a pastime.
Right.
It's a huge industry that makes people millions and billions of dollars, but for the average consumer, it's just a way to pass the time.
Right.
People get really, really invested with sports and with entertainment.
The gambling, yeah.
Gambling, yeah. That's
like a.
I gotta remember that's a thing now because it just became legal in Virginia, though.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't really a thing here for a while.
They you can gamble on your phone, on the internet. I mean, you can place bets, and you can place bets where they're making it out where you are winning almost every time. Not a lot of money, but enough to keep you hooked to keep doing it.
Yeah, until you start. Yeah, it's just like going to Vegas. Yeah, they let you win a little.
You win a little bit to get you
10, 20, up. $30 here and there, and then all of a sudden.
And then you start betting more to go for more, and then that's when they start taking it and you lose.
And then you're
so addicted by that point. Yeah, you end up losing your house, your car, or your wife walks out. Your bank account's empty. What do you mean I can't go shopping anymore? You know what I mean?
That's
kids' tuition's out the door. Sorry, kid, you ain't going to college this year. It's really bad. It's addictive.
Yeah. Sports gambling is not the best thing in the world, but it's here and you can't really do much about it.
It's a hobby that people start out doing. They're bored.
Yeah.
And instead of just like sitting there watching a game, I'll bet you $20 they lose, or I'll bet you $20 they score a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean that's still gambling, but that's not.
But that's how it starts,
right?
Then you're with your buddies, you make a few wagers with them, blah blah blah, and then one game they're not there or something, and the online betting's there, and you're like, oh, well, I've been pretty good against my friends. I'm gonna, been pretty lucky with the thing.
But from what
I bet $20 on this, and next thing you know, you bet $20, you win 40. Oh shit! Yeah, I'll bet that 40, and then next thing you know, and then they get addicted to it. Even when their buddies are, then they're telling their buddies, and then they all start gambling on the phone, on the thing, on the games, and you can gamble on anything.
Yeah, you can. You can gamble on how many accidents are going to be on I-95 this morning.
Yeah, and you probably almost always win because there's always an accident on 95.
Yeah.
Usually
what lane and how many?
Yeah, and what the driver was doing. Was he on his phone? Did he fall asleep? Or, what's going on? Or he wasn't trained enough, I mean, it's ridiculous. But it's definitely a pandemic that's coming in the gambling.
I thought you were saying pandemic because I think it was right around that time when they legalized it here in Virginia. Yeah. I think it was almost like, all right, we can't, The sports industry is really hurting.
The racetrack, they're not going to be able to come to the racetrack, the horses anymore. So you could even do that online,
which is crazy. Yeah, that was where it all started.
Yeah,
yeah. Sports betting was not even heard, wasn't even a thing. But betting on horse races was where it all started.
All right, and then you got the football into it now.
Yeah, baseball, even
baseball. I think baseball's
football,
been in it for
hockey,
a while.
Yeah,
because Pete Rose was betting when he was coaching the Cincinnati Reds.
Well,
and that's why he's banned from the Hall of Fame. But in my eyes, he didn't really do anything to.
He was a coach though, so he has influence over it. That's the thing. That was what got him in trouble. Is he was betting on something where he had some influence in it.
But was he betting against the teams and his team that he was playing? Or was he betting on other teams that he wasn't playing?
I think he was. If I remember right,
that's what I'm saying.
If I remember right, he was. It didn't matter. It unfortunately didn't matter at the time, but I think he probably was, or he had the opportunity to. So.
But the thing also with that is you have an influence on it. You can send a certain batter up to bat, but there's no guarantee that he's going to hit a home run or get.
No, but look at the White Sox, 1919. They threw the World Series because they were paid off by gamblers.
They were paid off by the mob.
Yeah, they were paid off by the mob, which was putting. But
Arnold Rothstein.
Yeah, I know. I watched Nine Men Out. Yeah, one of the best sports movies ever made.
Yeah, he got busted for that too.
Yeah,
that was a big scandal back then. But it shows you how far back gambling goes. It goes back a long time, and I don't think they're ever going to get rid of it.
No.
If anything,
it makes them too much money.
They're embracing it more.
Well, here's the thing: it makes the problem is when I see these advertisements for sports books and bets and stuff, they're making money on it. The companies, but they're all official. They're all official affiliates of the MLB, the NBA. So the sports leagues and organizations are making money off of it. The individual, the books or whatever, the bookkeepers are making, money off of it. It's just too much money to be made for them to
do anything about it. Exactly.
No, because it used to be, it's against the spirit of for baseball. It took them so long because baseball was it's against the spirit of the sport to do that. That's why if you got caught betting on a baseball game, you could get in trouble.
Right.
Just betting on it, like just in the stands, like they would kick people out for and fine them for saying, hey, I bet you $20 he'll strike out, whatever,
get a 1-run base, a 1-hit
and
run.
they were really vigilant about it, and really like they would kick you out if they caught people passing money around doing that. So, and then you go over to the Kentucky Derby, and that's all it is. It's just people betting.
Oh, yeah, that's
the whole reason. Yeah. No one would actually physically go to a Kentucky Derby to watch people race horses.
No, it's to gamble, to bet, to find out if your horse is going to win, and then even to go. There's even betting on the horse that won the Kentucky Derby if he's going to get all three.
Yeah.
So Triple Crown. So I mean, but it's just it's gotten.
There are bets on how many lengths they won by. They're going to win. How many?
There's even bets on golfing.
God.
Yeah, I mean, there's bets on. You could bet on anything. You can gamble on anything.
And there's a platform for it, and an easy access to get to it with the internet now. It used to be you actually have to physically go there and do it.
Right. Now
you do it.
Now they've made it so widespread and so easy to get the access to it for more people to do it.
Yeah. Just like anything, it's just like everything that's not the greatest. Like porn and stuff is way easier to access now. So we have a lot of people that are dealing with porn addictions because it's right there. It's in your face.
Well, they did a thing for Pornhub now where you can't get access to Pornhub in Virginia.
Yeah, and a lot of any states.
Virginia, Maryland.
Yeah.
And
that was due to what was it, the Privacy Acts or something that they were.
I believe so.
Yeah. Because I know somebody who shared like the screenshot of what pops up if you.
Yeah, it's a video of a girl saying we value our customer safety and satisfaction and blah 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 blah.
I've heard a lot of crap.
There's a lot of different things.
If you really look into it, like the porn industry is like bad. It's rotten to the core. I mean, it's because it's people doing things like that. Well, but in itself, which is evil, right? Which is bad. But I mean, if it's consenting, it's consenting. It's not illegal, but. It's also it's rooted in evil, but it's also people trying to make money on it and getting greedy with it, and it's all look into any company that does it that makes it. They're all gonna have crap. They're all gonna be shady, right? There's not gonna be one that and it's funny because I always saw things that came out of the Pornhub, which became so huge. Like they're like the biggest. Like anybody in media right now, if you joke around and like talk about, I mean, it's like you could flip through Facebook memes and you'd see every 10 of it is going to be a meme with the Pornhub orange and black or whatever. You're gonna see it. I mean, it's like it's mainstream media jokes now.
Yeah,
it's not just like hush hush.
Right? Oh no. It's with the day and age we're in now with all this sexuality out there.
Well, and just mainstream movies and television too, which has been like that for a while.
Well, yeah, it's to the point now where it's like, okay, you can't even say something because so many people get offended anymore.
Right.
Where back before you even said the word porn.
Yeah. It was taboo.
Oh my God! No!
Well,
you're a bad person. You're gonna burn in hell because you're watching porn. Or you mentioned the word porn.
Yeah,
but now
you thought about it.
Yeah, you thought about it. You're a bad man. You're married with wife and kids. How can you think about porn? But then people will go out of their way to have affairs, and God only knows what people do in their own bedrooms with their girlfriends or wives.
Yeah.
I mean, and don't get me wrong. You're in a private bedroom. You do what you want to do. If you get off on doing some weird, funky switcheroo shit or dress up or whatever it is you want to do, go for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what gets you off and makes
between two people, it's
right,
whatever.
Between two people, right.
Yeah.
If you want to bring in a third person, then that, it's a bit kinky, but if that's what you want to do, you're right. As long as you keep it in your bedroom, in the privacy of your own home, and you're not videoing it and sending it out for other people to watch.
But see, that's the thing is now with the turn of the century, there's been a huge uptick in all right, let's talk about it, right? So let's make it more like instead of making it taboo and no one wants to talk about it, because there was a problem with that.
Yeah.
There was a problem with people not willing to talk about
Right.
sex and the problems, the problems associated with, being, because if you think about it, if you don't think about an adolescent going, a teenager that knows that their parents sheltered them, never told them anything about it.
Right.
They're going to get in a lot more trouble than somebody who's aware of it and knows, that's why that's the importance of having the talk, right? And knowing, and knowing about it. And I think it's great that there's that there's it's more open and people are, but at the same time it's also getting to the point where you sit down and at a Starbucks or at your hairdresser or whatever, and you just hear people having casual conversations about it, what they did in bed. I'm like, I don't want to hear that. There's a fine line between there's a sanctity of it. It's supposed to be sacred, right? If you believe that,
right?
But I believe that. I believe it's a sacred thing. Now, yes, there's so much of it. There's so much accessible and easily. You watch TV or a movie, and it's going to be
it's always got some kind of sexual content.
So it's really hard to keep that mindset because it's so just out there now.
Right. It's
just and for good or for bad, it's the way it is. So you kind of have to. I'm almost just separate between, all right, that's real life versus that's just it's all just fake, right? You just have to, it's not real, right? It's just, you see it and it just try to all right, it's there, that's that, but I want to keep my, I think it's important to make a separation. But I think a lot of young people get sucked into it and then it just becomes that's their expectation. There's a huge problem with people, with young men especially, that watch porn and stuff, and they're like, well, and then they have problems with with having relationships with real people, not just sex, but just relationships.
Right. Oh yeah.
Yeah. And it's it's true for if you base what you see on a screen or in anything that's media, that's obviously scripted. It's obviously, even if it's considered amateur, it's still they know they're being recorded. Right. So they're gonna do
it up more.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be for a purpose, and typically it's for money, right?
Right.
Look at the OnlyFans thing. Everybody's doing that, and they're doing it to make money, right? That's the whole point of it.
Right.
I guess some people do. Find enjoyment in doing it. That's I don't know if they get off from it or if they just find enjoyment in making.
I've actually never really looked up OnlyFans, so I only know what I've heard about it.
I think honestly it started out somewhat, what's the word? Innocently, because it was a platform for people to have paid subscriptions, kind of like a Patreon. I don't know if you've ever seen Patreon. If you watch a YouTuber who's subscribe to my Patreon, where you can get more content, uncut videos and stuff of if they do reviews and stuff or unboxing videos, see the whole uncut video. People who really are okay, I really want to see that, so I'll pay $2 a month or whatever. Well, OnlyFans, I guess, was kind of the, more for the adult entertainment side of Patreon. Although it's funny because I see people who are digital artists and stuff who are you can see the uncensored version of this on Patreon. So it's kind of I guess you could use either one.
Right.
But OnlyFans is meant more for that. And it's funny because you've got, you got people who use OnlyFans as almost like a joke. I know there's popular YouTubers who have OnlyFans as a joke. And they don't do anything sexual on there, but it's there for people who are really, really popular there, and there are fans that want to subscribe to it. It's kind of like a joke.
Well,
then there's millions of people who use it for. Remember that there was an article about the nurse. I think she was in New York, and she got fired from her job because they found out that she had an OnlyFans. But she had an OnlyFans because she wasn't getting paid enough. From her job, her full-time job, to make a living. As a nurse and EMT, I think. She was a nurse EMT. Going to nursing school. She was an EMT, and she had an OnlyFans, and she was just trying to make ends meet, and she found that and was able to do it successfully. But then she got fired for it, and of course blew up.
I've heard from different sources that some of the OnlyFans be celebrity ones, but they're fake celebrity ones.
Yeah.
Which, people do that to make money too.
Right.
Now, like I said, I've never actually been on OnlyFans. I don't know really much about it. I haven't used it. There's really no reason for me to use it. I'm so busy doing other shit. I haven't got time to do that. What I mean?
Plus it costs money.
Yeah, and money's something we don't have a lot of.
Here's the argument for that. Like, why would you pay $5 a month to see one person's content when if you wanted it, there's infinite amount of it for free on the internet. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm too busy creating our own content.
Yeah.
And working and doing all that stuff to try and get by. So
yeah,
it's
it's a huge issue though. I'm getting tired.
So I guess that's all we're gonna do for today. We'll meet up again. Hopefully it won't take as long.
Yeah.
To get the next one in. And
yeah.
Good seeing you. Good topics. We'll come up with some better topics next time. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.